Imagine this. Brand new apartments everywhere. Skies filled with cranes. Billions of dollars poured into construction. So why the hell are people still struggling to find an affordable place to live?
The rent is just too gosh darn high, and it's only getting higher.
Simple question. Why can't we just build our way out of the housing crisis? Well, we tried, and it backfired. Over the last few years, housing construction has hit levels we haven't seen since before the 2008 crash. At a glance, this should be good news. More homes should mean lower prices, right? Except, they're the wrong kind of homes. Because as costs rose and profits shrank, developers realized the only kind of property still worth building was luxury housing. Not affordable units, not middle-class family homes, just high-end real estate. Now here's where it gets weird. We may actually have too many homes, but they're not the homes people need. While shiny luxury apartments sit half-empty, the U.S. is still short around 4 million affordable homes.
We don't see the money going into our buildings. We see the money going into their pockets. We still live in disrepair.
If developers can't offload the luxury units they've built, there's no financial incentive to build the ones working-class people can afford. So what happens next? Developers lose money. Landlords can't fill units. Entire buildings go bankrupt. And the people who actually need housing, they're priced out completely. Renters end up paying over 50% of their income on rent. Some end up homeless. Others sell everything they own just to make ends meet. And the cycle repeats. Because the market isn't failing due to a lack of supply, it's failing due to a lack of affordability. This isn't the first time we've seen this. Back in the 1970s, we had a similar apartment boom when baby boomers flooded cities. Apartments were well-built, subsidized, and affordable. Government programs supported developers. And families? They benefited. But after the oil crisis, inflation, and a collapsing economy, by the time the market recovered, boomers had moved to the suburbs and apartment construction flatlined. Fast forward to today. The biggest buyers now? Dinks. Dual income, no kids. They want convenience, not square footage, low maintenance, high amenity living, and developers are happy to oblige. Because when two young professionals are willing to overpay for a unit with quartz countertops and an infinity pool, why bother building a basic 3-bedroom unit for a... These buildings aren't just homes anymore. They're financial products. Entire apartment complexes are sold as assets to investment firms, bundled into REITs, traded, securitized. For developers, it's a volume game. Once the units are filled, they sell the entire building. Who cares if no one can afford to stay long-term? Even worse, a lot of this luxury housing isn't really luxury. It just looks expensive. But behind the granite counters and rooftop yoga decks, many are cheaply built, poorly maintained, rushed. And when something breaks, good luck tracking down the original developer. They've already moved on. Let's talk about 5-over-1s. You've seen them. Retail on the ground floor. 4 or 5 stories of wood frame apartments stacked above. Fast, cheap, everywhere. These buildings are the new normal, but they rely on cutting costs, thin walls, low-end materials, minimal insulation. The result? Housing that degrades faster than ever before. And they're not built for longevity. They're built for profits. Once sold, they're someone else's problem. But for tenants, those problems come quick. Mold, drafts, plumbing issues. And guess who has to pay? High-density housing. Sounds good. Efficiency. But density comes with responsibilities. More traffic, more waste, more strain on schools and emergency services. Cities need to build the infrastructure to support this growth. They often don't, because that costs money the developer doesn't pay. Now here's the kicker. Luxury apartments cost more than traditional homes in many cities. Want a 4-bedroom apartment in a major city? Expect to pay more than a 4-bedroom house with a yard in the suburbs. So who exactly are these apartments for? Because they're not for growing families, not for essential workers, not for seniors on fixed incomes. They're mostly for asset holders. Here's the part that will make you scream. Developers can't lower the rent. Why? Because the building's value depends on what it earns. It's based on a metric called the cap rate. If they charge $2,000 a month, the building looks more valuable on paper than if they charge $1,500, even if they give away 3 months in free rent. It's all about perception. Investors want to see big numbers, so developers inflate rents, then offer secret incentives. It's a house of cards. But as long as the paperwork looks right, the sale goes through. And once it's sold, who cares if the renters leave? Who cares if the building falls apart? And by the time renters can't keep up with the rent, the whole thing has already been packaged and sold, probably twice. This game is running on borrowed time. Many of these buildings were financed with short-term loans, back when interest rates were low. Those loans need refinancing and fast. If they aren't generating income, they're not worth much, and that could cause a wave of defaults. Banks, lenders, entire portfolios exposed to risky, hollow assets. And again, ordinary people will be the ones left picking up the pieces. The tragedy here isn't just the waste. It's that we could have used this boom to build the housing we desperately need. Duplexes, triplexes, affordable mid-rise buildings, the kind of homes young families can actually afford. Instead, we built glass towers full of empty closets. We could have reformed zoning, made use of underutilized land, incentivized social housing and mixed-income neighborhoods. We could have built smarter, but we didn't. So what now? Cities need to rethink zoning laws. Governments need to incentivize the right kinds of housing. And financial firms? They need to stop treating people's homes like poker chips. Because the current system isn't just broken, it's rigged. The good news? We've seen this before. We've rebuilt smarter. But it takes pressure. Voters. It takes you. So the next time someone tells you we just need to build more homes, ask them this. What kind of homes? And who are they really for? Thanks for watching. If this video helped you see the housing market differently,